Hey guys, today I decided to bring you a special video regarding the Destiny community and Bungie and a lot of other decisions as a company. And for all of you who keep in contact with the news in the Destiny community, you all know that there's been a lot of rants and such going around by big YouTubers such as, Rick Cactus. He's decently big. Triple Wreck did a great video covering a lot of the issues, and I'm sure many others have too. I just can't think of them at this point. But one thing a lot of people have just completely overlooked, DPJ or More Console might have covered this, I forget, I know one of them plays on the Xbox, but no one seems to have a gripe with timed exclusives. Like, I understand that that's a big part of gaming and how industries make money, but the way Destiny has been executing this is just disgusting. It's awful. I am an Xbox player for Destiny, and I feel I should be treated just as fairly. Now, like I said, timed exclusives are a necessity for companies to make money, and I'm okay with that. For Call of Duty, for example, for like 8 years, Xbox had the rights for timed exclusives for Call of Duty. Now, you would get a map like a month later. One map, or maybe 3 maps, or a DLC, but like 3 or 4 maps a month later. We Xbox players get entire chunks of content 12 months later. That's unheard of. In a game where it is a desert with how dry the content is, particularly right now, and through all out of year one, so many gaps of just incredible lack of content. And the fact that they're taking away that much from Xbox players, it's horrendous. I'm just gonna go ahead and run you through the year 2 exclusives. And keep in mind, it has been 6 months since we've had a significant content update, and some of this even includes the tiny little bits of content they added, the timed exclusives such as Sparrow Racing. So let's start off with the Iron Banner exclusive gear. I believe they get each class gets a helmet, a special bond, a special cloak, and the special Titan tunic. And maybe even more. I don't even bother to look at it. It would just frustrate me more. And then the Sparrow Racing timed exclusive. They get a special quest and an exclusive Sparrow, where you get one Sparrow on the Xbox and you have to buy the rest of them. And another thing I'll add on, though this is an entire other topic for another video, they said that microtransactions should never interfere with your capability to win. Like, you should never say or be able to complete a challenge. You should never say that. This is almost verbatim quote from Bungie. Not quite. I'm putting on my own words because I don't have it pulled up right now, but you can go find this. I believe they posted this on Twitter. They said that microtransactions should never interfere with your gameplay. You should never say, oh, I lost that Crucible match because that guy was able to purchase that, blah 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 with microtransactions, or I couldn't beat the raid, or that guy could because he purchased that via microtransactions. Whereas in the SRL Sparrow Racing, the new Sparrows were superior to the other Sparrows. I'll explain that in another video, but let's just keep going on. So far, 6, possibly more Iron Banner exclusive gear. Entire quest, which I can believe is microscopic considering how preservative Bungie is with giving us stuff to do. A Sparrow, where you could only get one for free without having to pay extra money. An exclusive Strike, which, keep in mind, has a awesome Strike exclusive for the Warlock. And the Strike, I've heard wonderful things about that. It's quite fun, very for a Strike, challenging at least. A exclusive Crucible map, entire gear set for each character, which, keep in mind, also looks fantastic in my opinion, and an exotic, the Jade Rabbit, where instead of, which might have been a good idea when they revamped up all the old exotics, you know, maybe it would have been a good idea to go ahead and give us, Xbox players, the Jade Rabbit. Like, that just makes sense. It already been several months. Like, oh my, it's just ridiculous. Now, that's not even including the year 1 exclusive, which took us an entire year. Also, before I move on to those, which I'll briefly cover, we won't get all of those exclusive I just listed off. Those 7 exclusive, which thanks to rubbing in your magic number into timed exclusive also, Bungie. That's, way to go, that's cool. We also won't get these until the end of this year's full life cycle. This Destiny Year 2. Which, if Destiny 2 releases when it was presumed to, which should be in sometime in September, like, you know, September 15th, September 11th, September 20th, sometime there, like the content roadmap has been displayed to show, then we won't be able to use these timed exclusives as Xbox players until Destiny 2 comes out. Think about that. Why would I go hunting for the Jade Rabbit when I could go into an entirely new game? It's ludicrous. Now, moving on, you know, for the entirety of year 1, we missed out on map, several strikes, and by map I say Crucible map, I mean Crucible map, several strikes, several exotics, a few gear sets, and I can't think of any others, but I don't believe that covered everything. And in year 1, hand cannons were incredibly overpowered. They ruled the meta for PvP for months. And the Hawk Moon, Thorn, Last Word, Holy Trinity of Death, and the Crucible is what ruled there, and for an overwhelming majority of the Taken King, hand cannons were unusable. How often would you see somebody seriously be using one? You didn't. Like, that just doesn't happen. The worst thing about these timed exclusives is that they just fuel the fire and fuel the hatred that we have towards Bungie. They just piss you off. Oh, that's all they do. They're not going to convince me to go buy a PlayStation now that I have an Xbox. Well, I doubt that was the original purpose. You know, possibly to convince me to buy a PlayStation over an Xbox. Still, I'm gonna go where my friends are. Maybe I like the Xbox 360 exclusives, as few and far between as they are, over the PlayStations. All they do is just make you mad. Like, oh my god. On top of this, the worst part is, they're just drying this game out more than it already is. This game came from a full, healthy grape to a fucking raisin. That's what Destiny is at this point, and timed exclusives just make that worse. Call me a salty Xbox scrub or whatever you want, but you cannot argue that these timed exclusives are hurting this already mortally wounded game. PlayStation may like to say they provide the ultimate Destiny experience, but I believe they provide the only full Destiny experience. Thank you all very much for listening, and have a nice day.